Hey, how you doing, Mr. Fake Beard? How are you today? I'm not doing too bad. I'm just showing I got cheat. Someday, and many times, as long as I've used these things, I still haven't figured out how to get it just right. I don't think anybody else has, because every time I see somebody do these, every time I do this, or every time you see somebody using these things, they've already got a clamp. You never see them cranking them around. But what I did is I put a set of these wood clamps on it, and that'll kind of help hold it. Hopefully these clamps will work. I'm not 100% sure on that. I may have to go crazy all out on this and actually break down and get some real big clamps. So, pardon my butt. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna clamp this down, kinda, and we'll run some real long honking screws into it, and that'll probably that will marry everything together. When I put it up on the, when I go to stand it up, it's probably gonna be a little wobbly. Well, I probably won't stand it up for a while. It'll probably be a little wobbly, but everything is, it's all kind of like a big composite thing, in as much as when I get done, I get the shelving and everything in, then I will run a strip of plywood inside of it, and that will kind of like hold everything and keep it from wobbling back and forth. And if you're having trouble seeing or anything like that, just let me know, because I'm kind of like intent on it over here. Actually, I'm in garage, but we know what I mean. Well, maybe not. I don't know what I mean. This is kind of, people are going to look at this and say, well, you look at this and say, what? But there's methods to my madness. See, because I need, besides having a cabinet to hold my 12-volt stuff, I need something on the side that's going to help support my long stuff. Like I got levels and stuff like that, and I need a place to put them. So I'm going to take and make a place on each side so I can put the levels and stuff, levels and T-squares and stuff like that in, so that they're out of the way and they're not falling all over the place. Because that, one of the problems that I got now is I lay them against the wall, and they just kind of like end up all over the place. Now this stuff here isn't square or anything like that, because I'm just kind of spotting them, and then we'll go from there. We'll square them up, finalize the clamping, finalize the clamp, run a couple screws, a couple real long screws in it. I got some 3-inchers, and that'll drive it all the way through to support the whole assembly. And then I'll run a couple shorter screws in the top where the little lip is so they don't stick out. Although if they do, well, oh well, that happens. And it will come together. At first, when I was doing this, I was looking at it. I didn't draw it up. I just kind of looked at it and I said, "Boy, that thing's gonna look pretty bad." But in all honesty, it's gonna come together and be functional, which is really hard for me to believe. Come on. All right. So I get for cleaning up the place. There it is. Hopefully once I get all these cabinets and stuff moved around and everything like that, we'll be a little bit more organized. But I don't guarantee nothing. Come on. Maybe I go this way. Nope. Once I start getting a few screws in here, it'll start getting really crooked. I mean, it'll start coming together. Alright, that's about right. Hopefully it won't slip while I'm playing this. Let's go ahead and run one right about there. Right about there. And this is where the impact wrench comes in. It'll drive it right on in. Now I should be able to take that clamp off. Blink! Oops. No, that didn't happen. Check it again. And that corner is square right there. So don't anybody breathe. We'll run another screw in. Okay. Check it one more time, just for posterior reasons. That's close enough for Two Dog Barking Workshop. Excuse me. I still got sawdust from yesterday, I think. I'll probably end up putting 2 more screws into here. This way, if nothing else, it starts to loosen up, I can find somebody who will weld and we'll just weld the screws together. Okay, now. Are you guys seeing any of this? Not really, huh? How about that? There we go. One of these days I'm going to have to build a project that's actually small enough to be able to be seen in a camera, huh? I guess I'm going to have to do this by hand. Don't tell anybody. That looks like it might be square. Oh, that one's a little deep. anybody ever tells me that woodworking doesn't give you exercise, oh, they are very wrong. And you know what? I got another way that I can do this. Get it kind of square. Go ahead. Go ahead and lurk, man. Relax. Hope you enjoy my babbling. And I actually do have a little tool that I spent $500,000 on because it came from Rockler. You know how that goes. That will ensure that I have got a square corner. It won't ensure that my whole setup is square, but it'll ensure I have a square corner. And it had its own special place at one time. But I think it and I both have slept since then. And everything's been, you know, I've been moving stuff around so doggone much. Trying to make room for this, room for that. I don't have it, that's not a big deal. But it would be nice. No, I didn't put it in, I thought I put it in with my clamps. Nope. Probably in one of those totes. Because I was asked a few times, where does that go? And without looking up and looking to see what it was, I'll put it in a tote. So, and this is kind of like driving me nuts because I usually have some facsimile of order here. What little bit there is. And I see it. And then along came Jim. I see it. I see it, but can I get to it? That would have been a good gambling thing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Oops, excuse me. We get a couple clamps. Square this up. Would probably clamp and square up the other one on the other side, but I'm afraid to look at it. For this kind of stuff, I really do like to use those the squeezy clamps, but I actually prefer using these screw clamps, especially for glue ups and stuff like that. And most likely for this too, because you can kind of persuade the lumber or your project. About there. normally, and I don't know, well, I know why I did it, but because I was being cheap. But normally what I would do is I would incorporate these side pieces into the uprights and then go all the way around. But like I said, I got the smart idea that I was going to extend this a little bit. It's going to give me, I use a piece of 1/2 inch, so it's still going to give me like 1/4 inch or something like that. A little bit of playroom for thin stuff on one side, and then on the other side I'll build like a little shelf. But let's move you. Okay, careful, I'm going to get you dizzy. There we go. That's that one. That's that one next. Nice part, at least the nice part about this is that it's relatively quiet. Oop, wrong one. Man, I've got sinuses bothering the heck out of me. I think the sawdust yesterday aggravated me a little bit. I should get I probably should get one of those fancy masks. I have a dust mask kind of deal, but they stink so bad of nasty plastic that you can almost practically taste it. Here, make use of that. And I just not real thrilled with it. Okay, so this is about where I want it to go, give or take. So if I put that right there like that, it's about my location. I can fine tune it with the fine tuning tool, the Matek. We're of Slavic heritage, Slovak, and so some of the words that we picked up for different things like hammers and stuff like that are actually Slovak, and they have stuck with me for this many years. And none of us, I don't think any of the kids can speak Slovak. Now, if my grandfather had his choice, he would have had it the other way. Well, not really, because he was very much pro-American. I guess is a good way to put it. He used to tell my grandma would, she'd sit there and she go off in Slovak, and he'd get mad at her. He said, "Hey, you're an American now. You talk American." And they go back and forth about that. And it's kind of funny. The Slovak always came out around Christmas time, because Ma didn't want Dad or me knowing what they were doing or planning or anything like that. So they, knowing that we didn't understand it, they'd start using it. Well, we picked up a few words. You pick up a few words. It's just it's the way it is. So it's gotta go in a little. So every once in a while, stuff would slip by. And my grandmother's voice, you turn around and you come back and answer, or something like that, or say something in Slovak, and she'd come back, oh, and all excited and everything. Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, that looks pretty square. Yeah, okay, let's put let's put a screw in it. Let's put a screw or two in it. I have got like 500 tons of these somewhere. There was a time when I was doing we were doing a lot of 2x4 work. I went through a lot of big screws. Now they just kind of sit around and look old for the most part. Yeah, usually when I'm fancy and I put 2 holes in at one time like that, something bites me in the butt. A little bit of crack in there. Hey, somebody hot glued my screw. And it ain't coming off. Okay, where's my sharps kettle? Here it is. I probably ought to have one of them little chairs and go wheeling around like a crazy guy, huh? Alright, we split that one. I think I'm going to have to do a fine-tuning adjustment here on my drill. Because I am pre-drilling. It's still going through. Not going to hurt anything because it went into everything else. So let's lengthen our drill bit a little bit and drill a little deeper. These are pretty nice. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to drill all the way through on the shorter stuff. That's all right. I'll keep that out here so I can shorten it up when I shoot the short screws. Shoot the short screws. Okay. Okay. Let's do some massive rearranging here. Well, actually, that's going to be over here. So my day started out pretty interesting. Got all ready, walked out here to go to stream, and I'm getting ready to go run the cable because I run a cable from the house all the way out. And doggone, I go in the house and I see that Iggy's going to start the stream. Well, you know what? I just can't. Okay, let me see there now. I can't talk and think at the same time. I guess that would be considered multitasking, huh? Alright, so that'd be right about there. So, great. So, yeah, I want to see what Iggy's up to. And, of course, I get called away with the dogs and everything like that, and that's when he breaks the saw blade. Just, I feel bad for him. But he didn't get hurt, so that's the important part. Firm but not tight until we get this all together. Then we'll tighten up a little bit, and tap it around a little bit, and persuade this thing into advanced squareness. Okay. Well, we're close. We're a lot closer there. We'd be right on the money if we had that thing tight. Hey, how you doing, man? Oops. Still just a little bit more right there. So we crank this one down. Don't slip. Don't go nowhere. Now we got to go that way. I probably should be using a wooden mallet and all this kind of stuff for this, but you know what? This is shop stuff. Of course, I'd probably say the same thing for the other because I'm just too lazy to get the wooden mallet. That's close enough. Yeah, we're good and we're square. Hey, H1. How's it going, man? I'd say that we're doing fancy fine woodworking, but that would probably be a lie. But we are doing cabinetry. And actually, when this gets done, I think, I'm not going to guarantee it, but actually I think when it gets done, it's going to be pretty good looking. Probably be a lot better looking if I put a coat of paint on it. Yeah, that lengthening that drill bit kind of helped out a little bit. Look at that. Let me put another screw in each one of these before I move them. Just because I can. I'll put a couple more in these rails too. That'll help support the plywood a little bit. But I'm using smaller screws for that. I got 3 in there. One in there. Move it around, maybe you can see a little bit. Wow. Well, that garage door, just having that garage door open just throws the heck out of the lighting, doesn't it? But I'll be honest with you, as hot as it is here, I didn't have that garage door open, that fan running, which I don't even know if you can hear that fan in the background. We'd be cooking. Well, we probably are cooking. I just don't know it. I will be very glad when the weather kind of settles in a little bit, then I'll pack away my coveralls and officially call it short season. So you show off our really bony legs. One more drill over there. And we'll be ready to flip it. Flip it! Flip it good! Do 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 do. Dun dun. A slurp. Yeah, okay, so yeah, no kidding. It's nuts over here. It well, you know, the nice part, compared to Dallas, because we live in Dallas, and boy, I'll tell you what, I froze my butt off in Dallas. I lived in Central Florida, kind of like directly across from Tampa. And when they talk freezing, they talk hours, you know. Well, in Dallas, when they talk freezing, they usually talk a day or two. Around here, freezing's usually a day, maybe. So it's not that bad. But when it gets to that for some reason, that 40-degree weather around here, well, what had happened, this is a long story. We got time. You got time? What happened was I was living in Florida, whoops, and working mosquito control after my first wife passed away. And we had I live in there, and I belonged to this widows group or widowers group and stuff like that, kind of like a support group. And my wife Jan was on there, and I had been a widower for about 7-8 years, 7 years I think it was, and we money was tight, and all that kind of stuff. But then one day, everything kind of falls into place, and I decided we had been kind of dealing together for a while, and I came down here on vacation, and we decided we'll go ahead and get married. I quit my job, called it a God thing, because I quit my job and sold my house and moved down to Waco in 2 weeks. I didn't even get a chance to put my house on the market. Some guy come up to me when I said, "Oh, I think I'm going to go ahead and sell the house," and they just came up. Guy come up to me and says, "Hey, I want to buy your house." So it's like, okay. So I was in Waco. I was working for a guy that was a slumlord. Yeah. Actually, everybody at work, when I was in Florida, I worked for mosquito control, and they thought I was nuts. But they said that, okay, well, you can. They were real supportive, you know, and they told me that if I wanted to come back, I got a job. Well, that's fine. But everything worked out. There's no such thing as mosquito control in Waco. So I was kind of unemployed, and I was doing odds and ends stuff. Basically working for that slumlord, like I said. Boy, I hope he never watches this, because I'm pretty sure he didn't think he was a slumlord. And I think that's pretty much kind of like a Chicago line. So anyway, the company, the company that my wife worked for, she was a dispatcher for a cement company. And they gave her a real prestigious job, but there was a lot of traveling. And she said, "Well, I'm a newlywed. I don't really don't want to take this job." Well, they said, "I'll tell you what. Your husband can travel with you, and we'll pay for it." So they didn't pay me like a salary, but living expenses and everything. And I did some construction work for them and stuff like that, just some light stuff, put in a new door, put a window here, that kind of stuff. Well, they got all done. Yeah, it was a good place. They got all done with this, and they decided they turned around. And they told my wife, "Okay, now you got to move. Now you got to move to Dallas, the Dallas area." Actually, it was outside of Dallas, and they said because they're going to go to the Central Dispatch area. So we went over there, bought a house, moved there, settled in. There's still no mosquito control over there. Well, during that time, I opened up the garage, and I was just getting everything together and set up to start working. They laid her off. So here we are, broken in hell. That's how it is. We're making millions with one income and buying a house. So it just so happened that the city here was looking for a mosquito control guy. Well, I went in there, and I had a lot of years of experience with mosquito control, and they were just totally wild about this. So we ended up moving to Baytown, and my wife got a job over here, pretty nice job over here, and we were living in an apartment for 6-7 years, and finally I ended up getting on disability, and this place opened up, which we're renting. I don't think I'm gonna buy anything anymore. I'm getting too old for that stuff. But so now I'm on disability, so I'm doing a hobby that originally started out as a hobby on Facebook and kind of expanded. So anyway, so now we're in Baytown, and we had talked about. First of all, I like this little neighborhood we're living in. Spraying, from spraying mosquitoes and stuff like that, you kind of I got to know, the neighborhoods and how they run and everything like that. And this neighborhood's always been really quiet historically. The whole time that I worked there, and I just liked it. It's quaint. It's real quiet, and everybody takes care of the houses, and it's actually kind of like American suburbia. And so when we had the opportunity to rent over here, we kind of sucked it up. Oh yeah, that's kind of become kind of lucrative. With the diseases and stuff. I work for the city. I work for the county in Florida and the city here, and that's a little bit. What we did is a little bit different. Because most of the time, the mosquito spraying stuff, a lot of times they're using mechanics and stuff like that, and they're limited to the area. And we were using like big stuff, And I really think that part of the reason why I ended up getting what I got was because of the fact that I was dealing with chemicals so much. I've dealt with chemicals all my life, one type or another. So, when you get to be an old man and you abuse your body that much, something's eventually going to give. But I don't know. I really like it here. And like I said, Baytown is... Whoops, that's a little too close. Baytown is is a good place. It's a nice town, and like I said, the city provides mosquito control. And if you're by the coast, mosquitoes are bad. Okay, but we've got salt marsh mosquitoes and stuff like that, and they're very aggressive. Uh, it's still questionable about whether they carry diseases or not, and they don't do mosquito control around here. You know, Harris County, the only time they spray is if there's one of their uh, one of their test areas comes up positive for a disease of some kind or another, and then they'll blitz it until the numbers come down. So here they sprayed for both pestiferous and nuisance mosquitoes. So, like for example, the level of mosquitoes, like they have stuff that goes down in City Hall, around City Hall, you know, in all those different places, and it's a more enjoyable experience because you don't have the bugs, and it's helped businesses and everything like that, and so it's become a very, as much as it being you want to say, I guess I want to say a health thing. It's also become a political thing around here. Because I can guarantee you, if they stop mosquito control now, there'll be a lot of unhappy campers. But it's nice. So I told my wife, I says, if we're going to stay in this area, which of course we were, I want to stay in Baytown because I don't want to have to deal with, I don't want to have to mess around with, jacking around with mosquitoes. What the heck? And since Baytown doing the spraying, I spot spray once in a while, but that's because we grow our own, and we got a couple places over here that are breeding sites I really can't do anything about. It's not illegal. I mean, it's not a legal thing or anything like that. It's just an older house, and it's holding stuff. So yeah, there's a lot about that mosquito control stuff, and there are a lot of things that are considered acceptable now that years ago, 8-10 years ago, oh man, that would be considered real taboo. Like using essence of I think it's I can't think of the name right now. Essence of something. And what that is it's a sublethal dosage of chrysanthemum juice. Yeah. Because chrysanthemums make a chemical that is naturally deadly to mosquitoes. And it's called, I'll tell you, it is called Permanone. Permanone may be it. I think it might be Permanone. There's another one that's the same, that sounds the same. One is the synthetic version of the other. And so the natural stuff is really expensive. It's one of the few pesticides that they haven't found any type of resistance for in anywhere. Here in the United States, we run a pretty good deal, so we don't see resistance all that much here in the States. Other countries they do, because they just beat you silly with the stuff, and their control and the way they do treatments and stuff like that is a lot different, and that affects it. Whereas here in the States, we use, usually we'll shoot like 3 different kinds of pesticides, and what that does is that enables, whoa, that keeps us killing, uh-oh, that stayed good, this one didn't, that keeps us killing all of them. Like when you what happens is that there is a natural, this is kind of like natural selection, in as much as you run into and you kill a bunch of bugs. I'm going to use bugs for example. You go ahead and you kill a bunch of bugs, and what happens is that those bugs, out of 100 of them, maybe 10 won't be susceptible to the poison you're using, just because of genetics, natural, whatever, or some reason. Well, what happens is, over the course of time, you kill off all the ones that can be killed with that chemical, and the only ones that are left are the ones that you can't kill. And that's what they call resistance. So what you do is you turn around, you kill them with one chemical, and then maybe you go back a couple days later when the numbers are to the point that you can justify it, and you hit it with a different chemical, and you end up killing both of them that are resistant to whatever, and you end up being able to have that control so you can keep the numbers down. Because all this disease stuff is all numbers game. In general, disease mosquitoes, in general, base parky, it's usually something like, well, let's say it's 1 in 100. And for most of these diseases, they have an incubation period. Hey, Frush, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Anyway, if you get resistant mosquitoes, then you got problems. Yeah, I'm babbling here, and I have no idea what I'm saying. Actually, I do know what I'm saying. You know, and there's more to it than that. There's more than just a spray truck. As a matter of fact, I seldom drove a spray truck in Florida. I drove an airboat. I was one of the airboat operators, and I was I'm gonna take a break because it's getting a little warm. I was an airboat operator, and I was what they call a tech. I was the guy that went around during the day. We sprayed ditches and stuff like that, and larvicide. We knocked them out in the water with bacteria, of all things. It's crazy. Anyway, this is very similar in style to my clamp rack, except the clamp rack uses 2 3/4-inch pieces, and one was on each side. And I'm not going to do that this time around. The sides are going to hold the legs. About halfway up, it's going to have a cabinet toward the bottom. So about halfway up, I think I'm going to do about 30 inches. where the top, uh, like the top shelf of the little cabinet area is going to be. Both sides will have a sheet on it, probably 1/2 inch. And I'm going to put a piece of 1/2 inch plywood along the back. I ought to go with 3/4, but I don't think I got enough. I don't have enough 1/2 inch either long enough. We'll put a piece of 1/2 inch on the back, and then on the top portion, I'm going to put what the heck they call them boogers? French cleats. And that'll be where I hang my. I have to make little hangers and stuff like that for the drills and all that kind of stuff. And depending on how it comes out, I may hang my my battery charger. I may just leave it on the shelf. I'm not sure yet. But I went through looking, and I've probably got 10 or 15 of them little, little boxes that everybody sells. It's got like, drill bits and all that kind of stuff in it. And they're like spread out all over the place. So I'm just going to put all those together since they're related to my drills. I'm going to put them all build a drawer in it and stuff like that, and put them all in there and get it all together in one spot. And that'll be one less hassle that I have to go digging around looking for, because they'll either be there or they'll be somewhere close by to where I'm working. And I'm already thinking next project. I'm going to have to make another lumber run. I got all this scrap and stuff like that, but there's nothing formidable. I'll have to probably sit down and go through some of these and make some little boxes. Maybe I got enough stuff to make rails and knock out a few drawers. I like to put drawers on a couple other cabinets. I don't know, always thinking, always planning. If nothing else. Oh yeah? Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Really? So that's like expensive lumber. I buy big box stuff. If I want it to look pretty, I try to buy yellow pine, because yellow pine, even the fast growth stuff, is pretty much impervious to wood-eating bugs. They just don't like it because of the sap. And oh, I'm sorry. That's okay. You'd be amazed. Like I said, I use the cheap stuff, and oh hey, that's what I work with. Well, I haven't worked with oak in a long time, and most of my cedar stuff has been outdoor stuff. I got a pallet over there. I think I'm gonna make a gnome door. I might take a break on this and make once I get this put together and put up. I might take a break on cabinets and make a couple gnome doors. I've been wanting to do that. That's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. If I wanted to do red oak, sorry about that. If I wanted to work with red oak now, I'd have to replace my blade. I'm lucky that this thing's going through the knots in that pine. I feel really bad too, because for me that's an expensive blade. Boy, that was my not red double, my Diablo blade. Probably time to get a new one anyway. I don't know what I got on the back of my. I'll have to check. Hey, K-Dog Happy, how the heck are you? Oh, K-Dog's here. That means that we need to shut the stream down, right? Just kidding. Nice of you to stop by. Hey, at least you stopped by when I'm actually going to keep going, maybe. It's kind of warm here. But you know what? It'd be a lot worse. Well, you picked a good time because I am streaming. I just stopped, take a break, sit down a little bit. This is the third day. Not bad. My leg's a little sore. This is like the third day that I've been doing this and standing on the concrete. So I gotta sit down every once in a while. I'm getting back into it. But man, I'll tell you, there was about 3 weeks there that I didn't do much. I did a lot of work on. Well, I built the key. After I built the kiosk, I played around with computers. And I jacked around with that for 3-4 weeks. And man, I'll tell you, my body got used to sitting on its butt. But I done it. Yeah, good luck. I always said, yeah, I always said that I was never gonna live to see 50. Well, I hit 50. Then I said, well, I'm not gonna be able to live to see 55. And that almost came true. But there's a whole lot of people was praying for me, and for some reason, everybody keeps saying God's got a plan for me to do something, so I'm here. And I'm enjoying life. I'm a happy little booger. Even though sometimes it's hard to believe. Let me rearrange this camera a little bit. Maybe I get it closer. So you can see, I got those two together and squared. I'm gonna get all this up and I'm gonna set it up, and it's gonna be cockeyed, even though every little corner is squared. Me too. Me too. I enjoy that, and working on computers. I really do like building computers. And if we were in a little bit better shape, there'd be so many computers laying around this house, my wife would be threatening to kick me out. I'd have to come in and do woodworking and streaming and stuff just to catch up a little bit. That's about it. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And I like living. I mean, that sounds bad. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are that are just barely making it. But oh yeah, you know what? The last time, see, I don't know. Don't hold me to this. But I built our last computers that I built were on Athlons, whatever the heck they are. I'm cheap. I use AMDs. I like them. They're pretty good. So I built these Athlons, and they lasted almost 10 years, 9 years, 8 or 9 years, 10 years. I forgot. Jan's better with dates than I am. And we oh yeah, and see, I don't have anything Intel anymore. I used to. My first computer that I built was an 8086. It was I bought the part. It was funny. I bought the parts from Zeos, and they sent them to me in pieces, and then I assembled it. And that's the first one I did. That's pretty square. But this last time, she decided she went and she bought these cyber PCs from man, it was one of the big box stores, Best Buy, I think it was. And oh man, hers went together and ran fine. There was no problems, nothing. Mine, there were FX 4300s, 8 gigs of RAM, real little dinky board, graphics board, a Radeon. I think it was a 240, 740, 240. I don't know, whatever it was. Anyway, mine I couldn't get to go. It kept giving me Wias, which is like, the blue screen of death. I fought with it, and I got mad. I just bought a new board. I bought a new chip, everything new, so this way I can kind of shotgun it. Well, you know, that's 6300. I don't game, but that 6300 is pretty hot little computer. Yeah, yeah, I know. You got to run a lot harder, Uh, I probably would have gone with an 8 core, but I was kind of doing this on a, whoops, I was kind of doing this on a budget too. So what ended up happening, I ended up getting it fixed, figuring out that I had that the chip was bad, and if I biased, and it's so funny, I thought it might have been the board at first, because what I do is I set the voltage, the chip. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's what mine is Bulldozer, I think. That's the FX. Uh, Mine's a 63. This one in here, and this one's a 6350, and it clocks a little slower than the other ones. I got 60. Ended up putting 6300s in the ones that she bought, and they everything's fine. So I got two FX 4300s sitting there. I think I'm gonna get some boards and figure out a way to. I want to put some more memory in my daily driver that I got in the house, because I use it for rendering. And 8 gigs, I come up to about 7.5 gigs when I'm rendering the big long stuff. So I'm thinking that I need to go and probably up it to like 16, which would be maxing it out. Wow. Wow. Yeah, it's time for a new one. It's not hard. It's not hard to dump a lot of money in it. I'd like to have a. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm probably not going to be upgrading too much. I keep all of our. I got like a server. Yeah. Well, see, with gaming, because the way that they run these games and stuff, you constantly have to upgrade. Which I think, my personal opinion is, when it comes to streaming, I've been watching the way that it's been going with. Yeah. Oh, you're running a 1070? You're gonna go with 1080 next, or you're gonna wait and see what those new uh oh, what the heck are they? They got that not AMD. Well, it's AMD, but it's their graphics people. Oh yeah. I thought about that. I was looking at but I don't have the $5,000 either. I was actually looking at that Titan the Titan with the, I think it's a Ti with the 16 gigs of RAM on it, which it's not a gaming. That's not a gaming graphics board. That's more a rendering board. It's an old one, really? Yeah, yeah. They got a lot of. I heard that there's a lot of stuff going on about. Well, what's wrong with the Radeons? That's the ones I was thinking of. I was looking at they got the new Radeons are supposed to be coming out that are the. Oh man, I don't even know what they call it. They got a secret squirrel code name for them. Well, the new chipset. Really, but I know that they're hot. They run hot. Yeah, I like the Nvidias too. I like their drivers that they use. And this one here has got it's got an Nvidia in it, but it's probably like a 960 or 760 or something like that. It's a little one, but it works good and it holds its own for the crummy graphics that I'm doing. That's true. It, the other thing is gaming. The other thing the other thing about gaming, most of the games they still work around only one core. So you can put a quad core into a machine and well, you know what? If I if I told Jan that I wanted to buy a $500 video card, I'd be living out here with no air. But then again, I can't justify it. Yeah. See, but that 1060, the 1060 is still one that you could turn around and if, you could sell that one and at least recover some money off of it because it's still popular in the used market on that stuff. As long as it's a good board, you got it made in the shade. I don't know though. Like I said, I put that 6 core. It's funny, and I tease Jan about it, and she kind of gets mad about it. Well, she doesn't get mad about it, but she makes sure I know. Every time I talk about getting these machines set up, I put that 6 core in her machine, and even though the 4300 was running at 3.9, and the 6300 runs at 3.5, but because you got the 2 extra cores, you had actually the speed of it was about the same, or actually a little bit faster. Well, compared to what she was running 2.2 on a dual core before that. And so compared to that, I was telling everybody about how that little tractor just flies. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's that little Farmville tractor. Most of the people that follow me, that were following me, they're not a whole lot of gamers, but there are a lot of Farmvillers. Yeah, yeah. That's because because a lot of people don't know better. There's 3 of them that Intel has that's got their chips on it. There's 3 grades, I think, and one's like is like the cheap one, and I don't know the chip numbers on it. And then there's the middle grade, and then there's the top of the line grade, which is the X99, and it's too much horsepower. I mean, it doesn't. You're wasting what you're getting for it, but yet people go out and do it. You know, there's a lot of boards that are out there that are meant more for industrial workstation, that kind of stuff, and people just figure. The other thing too is that it's always been, I don't know if it still is, but it used to be, if you were going to game, thanks for the host. Hey, how you doing, Iggy? Anyway, it used to be back in the old days that if it had an X on it, that was a gaming board. But that's not actually the case. Oops. I think I need a shorter screw. That's not actually the case, because a lot of the stuff that's going on in these big heavy boards, that's for graphics and a lot of memory movement. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, that's a little better. Oh, I see you're getting American flag in your face, ain't you? Sorry about that. So what I'm doing is I'm going ahead and I'm going to run some screws into this end grain. It's going to kind of help support it a little bit. Yeah, I agree. I've been doing the last board I bought, the last the last board that I bought that's in here is an MSI. I bought it as an open box, and it's a little one. It's heck, I only pay like $80 for it, and it's a cranker, man. It's got USB 3 coming out of its ears. It's actually got more USB 3.0 and all that kind of the higher end stuff than the board that's in that CyberPower PC. This one's an MSI. The one that's in my other machine is a gigabyte board. I'll be doggone, I can't remember the name of it. Numbers on it. And I was kind of disappointed in it. I don't know. For me and what I do, that's fine. I mean, it's okay. The 4-core would have been fine. It better would have worked. But what I originally had planned when I was building them, I was planning on building and going either with a I've heard of those. I've heard of those. But I've heard of them, but I don't know why. Jan, I had my old machine that had a gigabyte in it. Or no, the one that I got, the quad core had the gigabyte. Had the gigabyte or the Asus? Had the gigabyte. I had an Asus board in mine, and that was an X. I got that one out of steel. And then the Jan's. Oh yeah. Oh. I had I had one called a PC Chips. I don't even think they make board anymore. Little old thing, boy, little old board. And I put that in Jan's machine with this little dual core. And that was one of the most stable cranking machines I've ever seen. We went from XP to Windows 7 to Windows 10 on that thing. Yeah, I like Asus too. I think they're pretty good. I'm still kind of like iffy about the gigabytes. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of got an iffiness on that one. But I don't know. Kids are coming home from school. Is it that time already? Oh, wow. I got to put a thermometer in here. Because it's getting warm. Okay. Oh. You know, hopefully one day you guys are going to see a stream and everything's going to be kind of organized. And that'll most probably be the day that it'll be time for me to pack up and call it a day. So I don't remember ever having a totally organized shop. And I was watching The Wood Whisperer. That was funny. Whenever Wood Whisperer was on, oh yeah, that sucks. When I was a kid, the first house that my dad bought, the basement would flood on it. See, now I am more I like Seagate. Over the years, I've had real good luck with Seagates, but that was actually before Samsung got into the game, and I think that they're about the same. Or the Seagate and Samsung are being made in the same spot, aren't they? I built a couple of, I picked up a couple of Westerns. And I don't know, I'm not real thrilled with them. I need to go with, I'm still running platters. Oh yeah? See, now I don't... Yeah, see, I don't own an SSD. I keep threatening. I'd have to get one. See, like for Jan's machine, I'd have to get one that was kicking a gig. Because, you know, she doesn't... You know, it's got to be simple. She's not... She lives on a computer, but yet on the same token, she doesn't play with them, you know what I mean? So, anything that's on there, it's got to be kind of as automatic as possible. So, a gigabyte. So, I got a terabyte on there. I got a terabyte platter that she's working with, and then I got a 2T that's set up to automatically back up. That's all she needs. She's happy. Yeah. Yeah, I thought about going RAID on I've got my old computer. Yeah, those are the ones that go into the, they're the ones that go in and got a little board that goes under the, screws into the motherboard, right? I've seen those. They've got other ones. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw where they got ones that go into the PC3, the PCIe slot, and uses the PCIe bus. I bet they're pretty quick. I don't know yet. Someday I want to build me a dual chip board. A a dual chip server. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no, it's a little plug-in. It's a little chip about that big. I don't know if you can see it. About like that, little board that you put in and screw in. That's also now in excuse me, Intel just come out with a prefetching I forgot what they call it. Yeah. They're using a prefetch data or something like that. And basically all it is just a kind of like a buffer that goes into those slots. So you can get more speed out of it. I don't know. I think eventually, I think we're getting really close to that top speed. I forgot who the guy was. There's a guy that's got a theory about that, or a law. And eventually the equipment is... Okay, I'll talk to you later, man. Have a good one. Have a good day. I will catch you later. Uh-oh. I think we've hit a peak in computers, period. Until they change what they've got going for the... Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Though VR is just where VR is going to be popular, I guess would be the way to put it. Right. Well, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Which is what happened with me the last time. The chips that I had, I built a 4-core for Jan's cousin that was living with us, and that was the first. That was the Phenom, whatever it was. That was the first 4-core that came. That had come out. Yeah, you know. I can't see VR. Yeah, well, we're at the beginning of VR, period. I think that it's... Yeah, 3D, VR. I can see it now. Iggy's going to be scanning, and everybody's going to be wearing or streaming, and everybody's going to be wearing the VR glasses. Twitch is going to be running around like crazy trying to figure out how they're going to support all the bandwidth that's needed for that. They're not going to have it. They're going to have... Because even if you're looking now, it's speed. Speed is a big thing. You know, you have to run that data fast to get it to go and process and do whatever that it needs to be done. That and boot up, well, boot up times. Everybody wants fast boot up times. And the more garbage you put on a machine, the faster it's got to be to boot it up. And right now, silicone just ain't cutting it no more. Yeah, they'll come up with something and they'll get a few more gigahertzes out of it, stuff like that. But it's not gonna, yeah, it's not gonna happen, you know. That's gonna be a done deal. So, all right, break time. Hey, it's pretty solid. I'm surprised. Now we'll put in the top of the cabinet. I'll kind of like guess and put in a center one. And this will be sort of done. Hey, Dime, how you doing, man? Welcome to our little show of crazy and insanity. We're talking about something that I know very little. I know very little about, just enough to get in trouble. And Iggy was here listening, and I'm pretty sure he knows a lot more about this than we do, than any and all of us. And I gotta sit down again. I'm gonna sit down and take a little break. Yeah, they're. This is going back a lot of years. Because I was in college, well, let's see, course 78. I was only in college a couple years. I graduated 76. So like 76, 77. I was in college and we got a chance to go up and see in Chicago. I think it was AT&T. I don't think it was a Bell company then. I think it had already become its own thing. But AT&T was doing a fiber optics gig, and they were testing it, and they literally had a fiber optics unit running from one building to another building, and in the middle of it they had a truck parked on the street that was amplifying it, because it was so new they hadn't figured out everything yet. And I remember them talking then about computers and PCs, and they were talking about actually making circuit boards fiber optics. And we haven't seen that. And I seriously doubt that that's a viable thing. But who knows? You know, the next thing you know, the next big circuit board may have some type of little nylon things flipping lights around, and things will be doing whatever it's doing. But that's the only way they're going to have to be able to speed it up. And then heat. The faster it goes, the hotter everything gets. So you got to be able to dissipate that heat. I watched a guy on YouTube. You know, you think about it, oh yeah, it's come a long way. Yeah, that's true. There's fiber. I've been trying to. They don't have fiber over here because we have been dealing with AT&T before I got Comcast. And parts of Houston, I think, have fiber, but they don't have it out here. And we asked why. They said, well, there's no demand for it. Excuse me. But that's not really the truth. Truth of the matter is there's no money. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. They're going to figure out a way to hook us up to Wi-Fi. And then what's going to happen is they're going to figure out a way to be able to control us. And everybody will be little humanoid robots. It's all sci-fi now, but I can see that happening. They want people to... Yeah. I think they got a couple business areas. It's not. See, the guy from AT&T said it was, but it was only for like business hookups. So maybe they got something downtown. I don't know. Maybe not. Right. Right. Uh, when I worked for the Big X, we had uh, we had machine, and this is going back 20, 30 years. We had stuff that was running faster than what was running now. Yeah. Yeah, I would think that it would be wherever they had the biggest ability to make the most money out of it, which would be downtown. And then from there it'll start spreading out. But I seriously doubt if it's going to make it down here, because every time you turn around, the infrastructure and stuff's getting tore up by a hurricane. So I don't know. Right now, this neighborhood, it's a great neighborhood. Yeah, that's true. Somebody's got to pay for it. It's like anything else. Look at when they put out chips. I got to use that as an example. Yeah, I know. I know. I'm not looking forward to it. We'll probably do. I hope not. I hope not. Yeah, I think it was what was it, Ike? No, Katrina. I think Katrina was the last one. That was about 10, 12 years ago, maybe 15. No, about 10, 10 or 12. Really? Wow. Yeah. Well, not me. I like the water too much. I get my stuff together. I start feeling better. I get to where I can start handling the heat a lot better. Yeah, Ike was the last one. Yeah. Really? I'm waiting for to see what the government's going to do with that marijuana deal. There's stuff that's been flapping back and forth. You know, if the federal government was smart, they'd legalize it. Yeah, yeah. For you, yeah, yeah. All the time, all the time. Now Florida's nice. I lived in Florida. I lived in Central Florida, and I was there when it was Hurricane Charlie and two other ones. No, no. I wish. I sit there and wish they'd make medical stuff legal. Then I can get away with it. But yeah, I haven't smoked dope. I haven't smoked dope in a long time. I lived in Florida. I liked Florida. I lived in Central Florida. I was in Polk County. And anybody that knows, the guys and people in Tampa used to call all the Polk County people a bunch of Polk County rednecks because it's very rural. Uh, that's where a lot of the big fishing camps and all that stuff are. You like Florida because the water's a lot cleaner than it is around here. There's too many tributaries that are mucking everything up around here. Texas got a different kind of dirt too, and that dirt's going into the ocean. Oh yeah, yeah. I liked Central Florida. It was nice. Weather wasn't bad. Yeah, yeah. I don't know about Ocala. I don't know. I had to be close to that coast. If I had my way, I probably would have lived on the coast. except for the fact that I was so close to the coast. Heck, it was like an hour drive at max. So I was like, pfft, there you go. Not me. I lived in Chicago for 40 years, and I just dreamed about being around the coast. And now that I'm here, I can't. Now I can't enjoy it. I can't handle the heat. Hopefully, as I'm going along here, I'll get better at it, and I'll be able to go stand out in that post. Yeah, yeah. Ocala's close, and you get into Central Florida, and until you get to the Panhandle, and even the Panhandle, you can hit the coast real quick. It's when you're traveling north. If you go east or west, it's real short. But when you're traveling north, you travel through like from Central Florida, you travel for days. Holy buckets! When we I drove from Central Florida to Waco, and we only went through 3 states. And I went through Louisiana. It was like a blink of an eye. It was like we were in Florida forever. The heat never bothered me. It didn't bother me until I got sick. And the problem is that I don't have a stomach, so I can't drink enough liquids to keep up with what I sweat out. So I'm constantly walking around with something to keep hydrated. I'm only supposed to be eating like, oh excuse me, like a couple ounces at a time, and that gets old fast. Oh man, I'm sorry. That's nuts. That's insane. Yeah, I went round trip like that. Hey, what's wrong with this picture? 30 inches is halfway. Oh, that's right. 26 is where I want that. Because I got 4 inches coming up off the floor yet. And I want to make it around 30, 32, make it 28. Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Well, yeah, oh yeah, and that's funny too because my what the hell was that? 28, right? That's what Jan's funny because she's from. Yeah, you can do it in a night. We used to go to the college over there and have training for mosquito control, and that was like an hour or two maybe. If it was that long, it wasn't. It wasn't nothing at all. Okay, so that's the bottom. Won't put one here. Sorry, had to think, which is scary. That goes this way. So they go fight with me. Oh, you know what? I just measured the wrong way. That ain't gonna happen. There are too many people got money invested in Texas. They're not going to let it become its own, no matter what anybody says or does. Oh, come 28 off the bottom. That's the bottom. $28 and 4 is 32. What are these? These are like 36, 38, I think. Yeah, these are 36 and a half. So that'd be a little bit lower. That's what I want. Because it's got this top on it, I don't have a need to make it even with everything else. Yeah. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. They're gonna, you know, if they do that, this is, Florida, Texas is a lot like Florida in a lot of ways. You know what? This is Bible Belt. And so, you are not going to see, there are a lot of laws that are made based on what the religious sect wants, not what's good for the country. And I'm religious, I'm spiritual, but still in the same thing. It's like the Bible says. You're doing it for. There's a Caesar and there's a God, and you got to do it. You got United States is for everybody. That's true. Yeah, it would get pretty crazy. It would get really nuts. I'll measure the other side when I flip it over. Those are going to be little shells. Yeah, I'll agree with that. A lot of different nationalities. The part that surprised me, like I said, I'm a Slovak heritage, and no, no, I didn't see that. Did she get beat up or something? I'm checking square this way. Probably crooked than hell the other way. Heck. Alright. Oh, why? Clamps and I are not doing very well today. Yeah. Over here, there's a lot of Vietnamese. Really? Well, that just ain't right. Alright. That's just not right. Wish I had another one of these squares. I'd put it on the other side. Maybe I'll put that on my wish list, huh? And donut shops. Donut shops must be like the national thing of Texas. Because they are everywhere around here. In Chicago, it's bars. Bars used to be on every corner. And in the neighborhood that I lived in Chicago, it was right inside the neighborhood where people are, in the street. When I was a kid, my uncle, they lived like, yeah, yeah. But like they used to have my dad, my uncle, my cousin, they lived on the other street, and so we used to go over there. And yeah, yeah, it's nuts. That and everybody, everybody's got this thing about oh, what the hell are those things? Uh, the hot dogs wrapped in a bun. Oops. Trying to remember the name of it now. I'll think about it when I got a taste for one. Anyway, yeah, really. Yeah, that's true. Kolaches, that's it. That's it. Yeah, those are good, but man, I'll tell you, I, those are different than the kolaches that we used to have. Of course, they used to call them kolachkis. My grandma used to make them. They were like little cookies that she used to fruit fill. And that's a recipe that she took to her grave. Nobody could ever duplicate them. Which is really wild. Okay, so I'm zapping all this stuff, and you guys didn't see a dang thing, did you? Hmm. I like um, I like boudin. Oh man, boudin. Yeah, I can't eat jalapenos no more. I used to eat that spicy stuff, hot sauce. Oh man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quit talking about food, guys. Now, if I get this camera set up right. You know what? I probably need to set this up so that when I move stuff around, I got the Batman thing and stuff spinning around, huh? First time I saw Bonsai do that, I almost fell over. That was like that was like one of the slickest ideas. What do I know? So this is very similar if you look at it. It's very similar in design to like a planter table. Yeah, but it's not spicy. The guy that I work with, when I work for the city, my buddy Jose, his wife, she used to make, you know, authentic, not Tex-Mex stuff. And Man, I tell you, there's a big difference in the spiciness and stuff like that. You know what? I think I need to close one eye to get this done. This way, it'll be crooked one way, and then when I open my eye the other way, it'll be straight. That works for me. What do you guys think? Here we go. There we go. Let's see. This is actually a quiet feed for me. There's nothing, no air compressor running. I'll be running a table saw in a bit. Maybe. So, that's true. Whoops, that's the wrong ones. That's true. But I think different, because I had a Mexican friend when I was in high school. And his ma used to make, all the Mexican dishes. And they weren't spicy, at least to me. And I had mentioned that to him one day, and his dad said a lot of that depends on the spiciness of it. Depends on where you're at. Certain areas don't make stuff as hot, and I didn't know that. I thought everything Mexican was spicy. Burn your butt kind of spicy. But Tex-Mex is different. Tex-Mex is different than regular Mexican. Hey, wow. That's pretty strong. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, good tamales. Oh, man. Around the holidays, people are making them and, they're making them and selling them as their little side business. Yeah, there were some good tamales, man. You guys remember what I said that was? That was 28, wasn't it? What? Oh, yeah, 28 from this side. Yeah, 28 to the top. Shooby-dooby-doo. That's true. That's because it's old family way, and you know they kind of take pride in it a little bit different, I think. And who was it? Somebody I was talking about that. How the young people don't take their pride in it and cut corners and yada 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 yada. But in actuality, I think that's just like that's not. That's just the way it is. Cause I bet you any money that when I was younger, my my parents and grandparents were saying the same thing about us and our generation. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Jan brings some home from work. couple of drivers, their wives make them around the holidays. And they know that the only way we're going to get anything like that is if they bring it. So I lived pretty good for a while. I just got to make sure that they don't have it. They're bringing it to me, and they're bringing it without any sauce or anything on it. Which the Authentic's, it's just a tamale. There's nothing else. Well, it's seasoning and everything, but that's it. I bought this thing that square. I actually bought it for the clamps. Wait a minute, am I oriented right? Yeah. I actually bought it for the clamps. And now I wish I'd have bought. I bought a pair of them when they were on sale. So this nice little square. Yeah, taking orders? Yeah. Yeah, they get a lot of that over here too. But usually those people are selling them. At least they were when I was working for the city. There was a lady that used to come in. Actually, that lady, she used to come in year round. Once a week. And she'd take the order for next week. You notice that I'm using the gold cone ones instead of the black ones. Because for some reason, these black ones here, I was snapping, or Jan was snapping yesterday when she was running it with the impact wrench. So, I don't know what the deal was with that. I'll move this over a little bit. No, because you don't know what they're putting in them. They could be cutting corners, they could be using cheap stuff, they could be, heck, they can be putting rat poison in it. Who knows? Nowadays, people are weird nowadays, you know what I mean? And I'm not a crazy. I mean, I'm not like, worry about all this kind of stuff back and forth and everything like that. But still, that happens. Boy, this stuff's lining up pretty good. All right, so this is lined up here. This is lined up here. This is lined up here. It's not square yet, but that's okay. Because it will be. Yeah. But you know what? This is the funny part. When I was a kid, which was probably before you were born, when I was a kid, we used to go out, and I lived in the city of Chicago, man. We used to go out and ride our bicycles, do whatever we wanted to, play, do this, do that, baseball. Didn't matter. The cops would harass you for, walking on somebody's lawn. But, nothing ever happened. Every once in a great while, you'd hear about somebody getting kidnapped. And normally, that was some rich person, some movie star's kid or something like that. And they would make the news and be all big deal and stuff like that. You didn't have all this other stuff going on. And I don't know if it's just because it's more, because of the internet and everything like that it's just more public, or if there's an actual, reason for it. Like there's more goofballs out there or something. I don't know. But then again, too, it's like, the same thing like when I was a kid, there are a lot of taboo subjects, you know. More people were in the closet over something, over doing something, than there were people that were out of the closet for doing something. The big one that I think of is Liberace. He was a flamer. Me, even in my teen years, that idea never even crossed my mind because it just wasn't something that was in their minds. Yeah, money. Everybody's got money now, right? Or everybody's got access to money. Or something that will make money. Or something. Who knows? I need one more in here. I want to think about this. Let's look at this for a minute. This is the side. I want to put a shelf in here. But I want to run down about 4 inches. So I'll tie up about 6 inches. Put a set of drawers in. Then I might have to cut up and build something. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for that yet. We'll put a drawer in there. I may split it up and put 2 in because that's a pretty long drawer. That's true. That's very true. Back in the day, I think people did more, if you want to call it bad, people did more bad stuff for patriotism. Really? I don't know about that. Well, yeah. Really? You're just north of Dallas, huh? I was living in yeah, you can link. Yeah, go ahead, you can link. You can't find. That's not true. That's not true. Because I know a lot of Mexican people that are great people. They're decent. They're everything else. Uh-oh. I got linked. What are we linking? Ooh, the Tamale Company. Food. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Ooh. You can email them, huh? I'm going to save that link. I'll show that to my most beautiful and loving wife, Jan. Let her see that. She's a big tamale person. I like tamales too. I mean, that's just, that's a common thing. Do they? They got a farmer's market over here. I haven't been to it yet. They just started it. I think this fall. Or last fall. I think it was last fall. But I don't know. Ugh. I'm slowing down. Chili Porta? Portolonis. Portobello. No, that's Italian. There's a place over here in Baytown. It's on, I think it's on Main Street. It's a little store. kind of like a general store deal. And in the back, they got a cafeteria that they cook, and it's all carry out. Man, they make some of the best tacos and burritos and stuff like that. Oh, they're so great. But man, they tear me up. I can't eat them now. Yeah, probably. I don't know. I haven't eaten a whole lot outside of Baytown. Uh, we didn't go out much to eat in Dallas. If we did, it was mostly all chicken. There's something about chicken. We ate a lot of chicken. We still eat a lot of chicken. Well, Jan eats a lot of chicken. I can't eat chicken no more. Are they? I I thought Dallas was too congested, and we weren't in Dallas. We were kind of like between Dallas and Waxahachie in the little suburbs that were there. And man, the traffic was insane. It's getting starting to get that way over here in Baytown too. When we first moved here, the traffic wasn't that bad, but boy, keeps getting worse and worse. And that never bothered me, but now that I'm getting old and decrepit, I don't drive as much as I used to. Jan, man, she gets in that car, she's gone. When I was feeling better or out before I got sick, we'd be over here and really, you guys, you guys are tormenting me here. Street ones, huh? Hey, you know what I don't see here? And and the thing that struck me on it was I was over there. The glass man cometh. He's from Chicago, and I'm from Chicago. And he was talking about they have the vendors that sell the corn. You know, you get the corn. You need to get the corn in the cob, or you get the corn in the cup with the mayonnaise and the butter and all that. Man, I'll tell you what, I haven't seen any of that around here. You can't even stop into a little place or something to get a little cup of corn. That used to be pretty good. I like that. Now that got me thinking about it. I'm probably gonna have to try to find some corn, make my own. There's a barbecue joint in Austin that we stop at any time we're down there. We don't go down there often, but I can't remember the name of the barbecue joint. Boy, it's a good place too. But that's another one. I personally think, and don't shoot me, but I personally think that Florida, well, where I was from, around there in Central Florida, they have better barbecue than they do here in Texas. And I don't know why. I can't pinpoint what it is, but it's something. There's something a little different. Nah, nah, I don't know why. There used to be this place that we used to go to in it could be, but they were only open 3 days a week, and these guys were millionaires. That place was so packed, and they expanded like 3 times while I lived down there. And in those 3 days, you had to wait at least an hour to eat. Man, they had some of the best food. Oh man! And what they did was they were smoking everything in the back. They had all these brick grills that they made. Man, the lumber they had. Oh, jeez. That was probably, to me, I thought that was about like the best barbecue I've ever had. and I got spoiled by them. Pizza, and I know New Yorkers are gonna say that I'm crazy, but I haven't had a decent pizza since I left Chicago. I don't know. I think Chicago's the capital for that. New York style pizza, of course. Who? Wait a minute. Who originated in Austin? Really? Oh, a lot of places started in Austin. I have a question. Are they still showing Austin city limits on public television? Eh, nah. Pizza isn't pizza unless it's a pie. Deep dish, Giordano's, or uh. Well, That's not a bad deal. That'd be worth going for that. Oh yeah, it's pizza pie. That's what it was originally. Long, long time ago. Anyway, I don't know how tall should I make that. I think this one's a little too tall. The one I got on my clamp rack's a little too tall. I think that's a foot. I think I'm gonna go about 10 inches on the shelf on this. That'll give me enough space to put in drawers and still be able to put stuff in underneath it. Cause I'm only putting like tools. I may make a like a drawer type assembly. Ah, I can't do it with this. I don't know now. See, this is what happens when you design on the fly. Eh, Let's see. Oh man, that's 18 inches. I don't want 18 inches. 11 inches. Yeah, deep dish is a laser. I'm gonna go 11 inches to the bottom. 11 inches sounds good, doesn't it? What do you guys think? 11 inches? Then put it right about there. Well, here, let's bring it back so you can see. Can you see? Yeah, 11 inches. Be about there. What would half of this be? 28, so 14 will be half. And I want to drop down 6. About 6, maybe 8. I gotta see. I want to make a shelf for it. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. This is supposed to be a family site. Uh huh. Uh huh. Okay. There's no mods around, so you're good. Iggy's probably streaming now. Yeah, I'm gonna do 11 inches. Yeah, I think it's getting to be short season in Texas. See, if I put the top of it at 11 inches, then I screw in here, I miss screwing through that knot. Because you know, old yellow pine knots are fun to play with. And that'll actually bring it down. That'll only be about 6, 8 inch shelf. But like I said, I'm only putting tools in it. Uh, oh yeah, here.